all around the world, there are countries that, either due to their remote geographical location or strict political policies, exist in relative isolation from the international community. However, this isolation has shaped their culture, history, and unique challenges, setting them apart from other nations. Take Tuvalu, for example, a country rarely visited by tourists due to its difficult accessibility and limited transportation facilities. Despite these challenges, Tuvalu offers breathtaking coastal scenery, with crystal-clear waters and pristine white sand beaches that are truly a feast for the eyes. In the Asia-Pacific region, there is Bhutan, where people still wear traditional clothing as part of their daily lives. Meanwhile, in Europe, we have the Faroe Islands, home to the world's smallest capital city. What other nations can be considered remote and isolated? Let's explore them together. First, there is Palau, an island nation in the western Pacific Ocean, consisting of approximately 340 islands with a total land area of about 459 square kilometers. Palau's population currently exceeds 17,000 people. The majority of its residents are of Palauan ethnicity, with Asian communities, mainly from the Philippines, China, and Korea, making up around 21.7% of the population. Around 70% of Palau's population lives in Koror, the country's largest city and main commercial center. Palau is known for its rich marine biodiversity, making it a popular destination for diving and ecotourism. However, the country faces challenges such as limited natural resources, dependence on imports for basic needs, and vulnerability to climate change and rising sea levels. In the South Pacific Ocean, there is Vanuatu, which consists of approximately 83 small islands. Its capital is Port Vila, located on the island of Afate. Currently, the population exceeds 332,000 people. Interestingly, Vanuatu has more than 100 native languages, making it one of the countries with the highest language density in the world. The people of Vanuatu have a rich tradition of knowledge, including weather magic and an understanding of wind patterns used for agriculture and navigation. Unfortunately, Vanuatu is prone to natural disasters such as tropical cyclones, earthquakes, and volcanic activity. Cyclone Pam in 2015 and Cyclone Harold in 2020 caused severe damage to infrastructure and livelihoods. As the third smallest country in the world, Nauru has a total land area of just 21 square kilometers. With a population of 11,000, the country is predominantly inhabited by the Nauruan ethnic group, followed by communities from Kiribati, Fiji, and Australia. Nauru has unique traditions, such as the Buak ritual, which is performed to honor ancestors and seek blessings for families and the community. Another significant event is Angam Day, celebrated on October 26th, serving as a reminder of Nauru's recovery and survival after difficult periods such as World War and epidemics. In the past, phosphate mining brought around $2.5 billion into the country's economy. Unfortunately, that era of prosperity is long gone. Nauru was even once referred to as the country that ate itself, due to its rapid rise to wealth from phosphate mining, followed by severe environmental and economic collapse. Located off the east coast of Africa, between Madagascar and Mozambique, lies Comoros. By 2025, the country is home to 876,000 people. Interestingly, Comorian culture is a fusion of African, Arab, and French influences. The people are known for their rich oral traditions, including traditional music and dance such as tarab, which reflects both Arab and Swahili cultural elements. As an island nation with limited infrastructure, transportation between islands and international connectivity remain major challenges. These limitations affect the distribution of goods and services, as well as the population's access to essential services such as healthcare and education. There is São Tomé and Príncipe, a small island nation in the Gulf of Guinea, off the central west coast of Africa. The country consists of two main islands, São Tomé and Príncipe, which are located about 140 kilometers apart. Its capital, São Tomé, is situated on the island of São Tomé. Traditional music and dance are an important part of their cultural identity, with performances such as Ushua and Dança Congo frequently showcased during festivals and local celebrations. The islands are known for their rich biodiversity, including endemic plant and animal species. As a small island nation, São Tomé and Príncipe face challenges in connectivity and accessibility. Limited transportation between islands and to the African mainland affects trade, tourism, and the mobility of its residents. Moving to the Asia-Pacific region, there is Bhutan, a small country located on the southern slopes of the eastern Himalayas, nestled between Tibet to the north and Indian states to the south, west, and east. Despite its isolation, Bhutan is home to 794,000 people. Its culture is deeply influenced by Buddhism. Unlike many other countries, Bhutanese people still wear traditional clothing daily, with men wearing the go and women wearing the kira. The country's landscape is dominated by mountains, with elevations ranging from about 200 meters in the south to over 7,000 meters in the north. However, this variation in altitude results in sharp climate differences across the country, from a subtropical climate in the south to an alpine climate in the north. Global climate change also presents additional challenges, such as shifting rainfall patterns that could impact agriculture and water resources. Between Hawaii and Australia lies Tuvalu. Its size is almost the same as Nauru, around 26 square kilometers. With such a small area, Tuvalu has a population of only 9,545 people. Tuvalu has a rich marine ecosystem, with coral reefs that serve as habitats for various fish species and other marine life. However, the soil on these islands is generally poor in nutrients, limiting the types of vegetation that can grow. About 43% of the vegetation is dominated by cultivated coconut forests, while native forests make up only around 4.1% of the total vegetation. Unfortunately, Tuvalu is vulnerable to the effects of climate change, especially rising sea levels that threaten the sustainability of these low-lying islands. The highest elevation is only about 4.6 meters above sea level, making it prone to flooding caused by storms and cyclones. Data shows that sea levels in Tuvalu are rising by approximately 3.9 millimeters per year, nearly twice the global average. In the central Pacific Ocean lies Kiribati. Not only is it a remote country, but Kiribati is also a coral atoll spread across an area of 3.5 million square kilometers, inhabited by 135,000 people. The majority of Kiribati's population is of Gilbertese ethnicity, with a culture rich in traditional dance, music, and handicrafts. In addition to its limited infrastructure, Kiribati also faces challenges in transportation and connectivity. Access to healthcare, education, and imported goods is often restricted. This is further exacerbated by Kiribati's vulnerability to the effects of climate change, especially rising sea levels that threaten the sustainability of these low-lying islands. The highest elevation is only a few meters above sea level, making it prone to flooding caused by storms and cyclones. Now, let's move to Europe. Liechtenstein, a small country in Central Europe, is located in the Rhine Valley within the Alps. It borders Switzerland to the west and south, and Austria to the east and north. With an area of about 160 square kilometers, Liechtenstein has a population of 40,000 people. As a small nation with limited natural resources, Liechtenstein relies heavily on imports to meet its energy and raw material needs. Additionally, the cost of living is high, including property prices and consumer goods. Moreover, Liechtenstein's economy is closely integrated with Switzerland, particularly due to the use of the Swiss franc as its official currency. This makes the country vulnerable to economic fluctuations in Switzerland. The Faroe Islands, an autonomous archipelago within the Kingdom of Denmark, are located in the North Atlantic Ocean between Iceland, Norway, and Scotland. The total area is about 1,400 square kilometers, with the capital, Tórshavn, known as one of the smallest capitals in the world. The population exceeds 55,000, with the majority being Faroese, descendants of Norse and Celtic ancestry. DNA analysis shows that the male lineage primarily comes from Scandinavia, while the female lineage has Celtic origins. There is also a small immigrant community, mainly from the Philippines and Thailand. Faroese culture is rich in traditions reflecting Nordic heritage, such as the traditional chain dance known as the Faroese chain dance and ancient ballad singing. Its remote location in the middle of the North Atlantic Ocean limits access to the mainland. Additionally, with scarce farmland, the archipelago depends on imports for certain food supplies. Now, let's end in the Americas. Guyana is located on the northern coast of South America. It is the only country in South America where English is the official language. Guyana covers an area of approximately 214,970 square kilometers and has a population of around 834,000, consisting of Indo-Guyanese, Afro-Guyanese, and Amerindians. Unfortunately, Guyana was reported to have the highest suicide rate in the world in 2014, with a mortality rate of 44.2 per 100,000 people. Additionally, in 2011, the HIV prevalence was estimated at 1.2% among people aged 15-49. On top of that, the country experiences significant migration, with many citizens moving abroad in search of better economic opportunities. Belize, a small country on the eastern coast of Central America, borders Mexico to the north, Guatemala to the west and south, and the Caribbean Sea to the east. The country spans about 22,966 square kilometers and has a population of approximately 420,000 in 2025. One of its main attractions is the Belize Barrier Reef, the second largest coral reef system in the world, home to various marine species, including more than 500 species of fish. Unfortunately, crime remains a major issue in Belize. Additionally, social problems such as discrimination, drug and alcohol abuse, prostitution, and political corruption persist. Moreover, the high cost of living in Belize is linked to its heavy reliance on imports, which drives up the prices of goods and services. Belize also faces challenges such as high unemployment, a growing trade deficit, and a significant burden of foreign debt.